everybody, welcome to Glenn's Garage. Today's video, going to be changing out coil packs on the 2011 BMW. That's an E90 platform that's behind me here. Hey guys, so for those of you who have watched on here before, you'll notice the garage is rather empty right now. And that's because that stunning 300ZX turbo that I've been restoring for the last year has been sold. Put it on the market to kind of see, feel for there's any interest in it at all. And 3 days later, it's gone to an awesome home in on the mainland in Vancouver. So we're in between projects, as it were, but we're going to get some work done on the daily here. So this is a 2011 328 xDrive, last year of the E90 platform. And about a week ago, it started it up and it started stuttering, missing, running rough, idling rough. So I threw the code reader on it and it said misfire cylinder 3. So took everything apart under the hood here, basically what I'm going to show you today. And I took the coil pack for cylinders 2 and 3 and I swapped them around. Cleared the codes, started up again, reread the codes, and it said misfire cylinder 2. So that was my diagnosis that it was indeed a coil pack that was failing. So I changed that one, and excuse me, about a few months ago, just before we bought the car, it had cylinder 1 coil pack change. So there's 2 that's been changed in the last 6 months or so. So that's 33% of them have failed. So we're getting ready to do a long trip cross country, 4,000 so kilometers each way. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change out the rest of the coil pack. So I'll have 6 effectively new, and we'll have 4 that are effectively working spares. So I'm just going to show you how I'm going to go about it and the tools you need to change a coil pack on one of these. All right, so under the hood, the N52, the basic N52 engine, the straight 6, naturally aspirated from BMW, been used in multiple platforms, and they're all going to be very similar in terms of how you actually change the coil packs. The difference will probably be access around the cowl, but it's all a very similar process. So again, this is an E90. The other variants in that, the E9X platform would be the E91, the E92. And I think there might have been an E93. So it's coupes, convertibles, and wagons or estates. All the same up here. It doesn't matter if it's all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive. For what we're doing here, it's the same. So let's crack on, start getting things apart, and just pop them out, put some new ones in. All right, so the coil packs are down here under this cover. So you got to get the cover off first to get to the coil packs. And as you can see, this is a 6-cylinder engine that goes way back under here. So we've got to gain access to be able to get this cover off and to be able to reach, cylinders 5 and 6. There might even be 4, 5, and 6 back there. So we have to be able to remove this up here, which will give us clearance to get the cover off and then to reach those to be able to remove them. All right, so job 1, cabin filter housing here. 5 screws to remove here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it should be that one there. And this should then lift out of the way. So 8mm socket, and pop those off, and then that'll allow us access to the cover there. All right, there's the little fasteners. I'm using the impact here, but be gentle if you got one. They're just little fasteners in the plastic, and I certainly wouldn't use this to put it back together. But anyway, we're gonna get the other three out now. Okay, there we are, first part off. And good time to replace your cabin filter if you need to. This was just done, but good time to do that. All right, next we're going to get these two covers off. There's one on each side. That one's over the brakes. This one, I honestly can't remember what's under there, but these just snap into place. You can see there's a little clip there. There's one at the back here. So you just get your finger under, pull out that clip. Pull out this one here. You'll have to release from this rubber here. There's a tab here. So it's just a matter of pushing that tab out of the slot. And we are. Do exactly the same on the other side. Next, I'm going to disconnect this channel here that's housing a couple of wire harnesses that transfer across the top of the motor. It clips in 3 places to this cowl panel here. It pushes in and it snaps into place. And like I said earlier, I did this about a week ago and changed the faulty coil pack. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slide a screwdriver into here and then twist, and it should release. Okay, so there's the first tab. What we're going to do is just slide the screwdriver in here. Hopefully you can see holding the light here, and just push down, and there you can see it released. There's a second one here. There we go. Okay, all 3 tabs done. That's now out of the way. We're free to release this cowl, and we got 2 more 8mm socket screws, one at this end, one at that end. We've got this plug here we need to unplug. So you got to unplug it from here and then release it, release the small wire, the 2 clips here. And then this should lift out. It sort of slides in underneath there, so it lifts up and pulls out. And you've also got to release these 2 tabs sticking up here, these rubbery tabs. Just need to slide out of the slot. All right, get this plug out, squeeze at the end, a little release here, and then we'll just give it a little help. There we go. And then it'll unclip off of 2 upstanding tabs here. And give it a little bit of help. There we go. There's 2 little metal gripper clips here, and that harness can then be put out of the way. And this should be ready to lift. Got 1 more wire there that I missed. Okay, same as the other, she's got a metal grip on it, an upstanding tab. So don't forget that one. Don't pull hard till you make sure. And there we go. Okay, so as you can see now, you have access right to the back of the cylinder head there, so the full length of the engine. So you've got to get this plastic cover off. Depending on the model, etc., there are a couple of different ways it attaches. This one attaches with some socket head cap screws, so that's I believe 5mm Allen wrench or hex wrench. Some others have some pins molded on the inside that just hold into rubber, and you just pop it and lift it up. But either way, you're going to remove those or pull, and we'll get this cover out of the way here. if you have this type of cover that's got the socket head cap screws, it looks like there's 3, but there is a 4th one hidden down, just down here behind the wiring. All right, well, funny this. I did that one coil pack, I said last week, and obviously I did all this work. And there were 4 fasteners here. Now, between then and now, it went into the dealership for a recall, Vanos bolt something recall. And they've had that cover off, and they've only put 3 of the fasteners back. That's your BMW dealership. Why I do this myself. They just don't care enough. All right, so here we are. All that work to get to these. So these are your coil packs. So individual coil for each cylinder. Lets the computer control things better. 5, 6. So in my case, this one was replaced just before I bought the car, which has been, I've only had it a few months so far. This is the one I replaced last week. And these last 4 are, to the best of my knowledge, original. So I'm going to replace those as a precaution before our long trip, because if 2 have failed, there's certainly a possibility the other 4 might in the next 10,000 kilometers of traveling. And I'd really rather not be trying to do this in a parts store parking lot. So we're going to do 3, 4, 5, and 6. And they're easy to unplug. You lift this little tab up. It just lifts up, and as it lifts up, it's going to release the plug. You can see and then this will just lift out, pull out of the way. There we go. So as it comes up, it effectively pushes this most of the way off, and then you can pull it out of the way. I'm not sure you're going to be able to see much of me doing this, but we're going to wiggle and pull here. There we go. So I kind of got my finger in where the plug goes and pulling on this. And there we go. Okay, so this is the coil pack that came out. I'll put some light on it. There's the number, the 0221504470 Bosch. And these are the ones I'm putting back in. 0221504470 Bosch. Now you can buy cheaper ones. There's stuff made in China that's a fraction of the price. I bought these from an local auto parts store called Lordco here. Be like an O'Reilly's or something. And with my discount, these were, I don't know, $40 odd a piece. At BMW, I guarantee they're probably $150 a pop for exactly the same part. But I've gone with the Bosch one. I wouldn't go with the cheap ones because frankly, it's just too much work for these things to fail prematurely. And Bosch makes a very good product. So that's what I bought. This is what I'm putting back in. Right, so new one going in, just push it in, make sure it's well seated because that is going to seat onto the spark plug. And just make sure it's oriented properly here. There we hear a little pop as it goes in. And then we're just going to offer up the power cord. And as we push this down, the power cord should engage. There we go. Okay, one done. In my case, 3 more to go. All right, there we go. Okay, so that's, in my case, 4 changed, and then the 2 that were just changed. So that's all 6 done. Now, I'm just going to start it and make sure I haven't done anything silly. If you've changing one out that's faulty, then obviously this is the time you start up and check. Make sure it's not throwing any more codes and you fix the problem. We are now ready to start putting things back together. All right, got the cover on. Just gonna start putting the cowl back on. Something else I noticed here that I didn't mention taking it apart because it wasn't connected. There is a retainer here for this harness. And when I took it apart, this harness was just sitting there. So, like I said, the only person that's worked on this is at the BMW dealership since I did it. And I know I clicked it because it took 2 or 3 tries to get it to click. So, okay, so there's 3 tabs here that you have to sort of push down and under, and you get it sorted in place there. Now we can play around with this harness. I get it. I guess I can see why someone didn't do it, but frankly, as a dealership, I kind of think you should. Okay, so you hear the 3 clicks. That's solidly in place now. The tabs here. Oh, 2 screws in there next. All right, while we're at it, we'll get these wire harnesses clicked back in place here. Plug this in. It's some kind of a sensor for the air filter, I believe. There we go. Now we'll slot this back into place. You can see the tab that slides in on. Clicked properly. You hear it go click, but double check anyway. And those are up there for a reason. They're up there because it gets hot, and the last thing you want to be doing is superheating wiring harnesses. So BMW, lift them, hold them out of the way, cover them, and then put them in a protective holder here. So best to do the same thing. Like I said at the start, I use an impact gently to take this all apart. I'm just using my socket and ratchet set to put it back together. You don't want to be driving these in with any kind of force. All right, there we are. That's how you change, that's how I change coil packs on an E90 BMW. It's not that bad a job, really. A little fiddly with some of the bits back there, but it's genuinely not that difficult a job to do. And, you know, I mean, something that I don't think you would have to take it to the dealer for. But anyway, I hope the video was helpful. If you're considering doing it or looking to change one, change them all, like I said, not that difficult. And you know, I hope you come back, check the channel out some more. Like, subscribe, it's always appreciated. If you enjoyed the video, it was helpful, shoot a comment if you want. I try and answer them within a few days. And in the meantime, I hope everybody's having a great day out there. Drive safe, and I hope to see you back here in the garage.